Okay, so Konami have released an interesting new pack. They haven't really done anything like this. There's a unique twist to these cards. So we can clear this pack for free. We got one for login. We're gonna get another five, I think, for login, and you can get three in the challenge events. It is a challenge event, so against the AI, so you have to play the games. You can't let the AI play for you, but it's against beginner, so you can just put the controller down, score a goal, and or the other way around, and then you can walk away from the console and you win. Alright, so let's look at the players. So Choupo-Moting, he's really good in the stat balance mode the competitive players use. So I use Bayern when I play in that, and I think he's really good there. I have tried him on Dream Team, and he's a bit of a tricky player. Like he does score jammy goals, but long like you like him for a few games, and then long term you don't particularly um trust them anymore. But if we go on eFootball Hub, we can level them up without having to spin for him. And this is what he will look like. Let me reset the zoom. So max level. So this is his auto allocate. In terms of would I stick with this? First off, I just get his passing down to 70. I don't think there's gonna be a difference between 71 and 70, so I'd stick with that. In terms of his other stats, I'd probably do the same kind of theory with dexterity, get his acceleration to 70. He still has 70 balance and 88 awareness. His booster, by the way, is into finishing, heading, jumping, and physical contact. So, he's 4 points extra. You could try get his dribbling up to 80 ball control, type possession, and yeah, those three. But then you'll have to take stats somewhere else. Now you could take speed, because he's not particularly fast anyway. The only thing is then you have a problem of his kicking power. But if you go like that, you can get his. Why isn't the jumping going up? I don't know why the jumping's not going up. Um, you can try get his jumping up. Yeah, I would just recommend making him kind of as physical as a striker. He's a target man, so I just make him as physical as a striker as possible. I think there might be an issue with eFootball Hub not calculating the stats uh, correctly, but I would get him to 7 physical contact, and then you've got the extra point. It can probably go into lower body, just get that kicking power that little bit higher, or you might want to go for 90 finishing, but honestly, I think make use of his physical since he's a target man. In terms of his skills, he has got some good ones. First time shot, acrobatic finishing, heel trick, air superiority, track back will help out. Obviously, if you're trying to hold on to a game, you might bring a target man on to, if you're defending a lead, have him as an aerial outlet. So if you're getting pressed, you can hit it up to him, and then he'll help back in defense. Although I probably wouldn't use Choupo-Moting. Right, on to Rashford. Now Rashford, I've never really liked any football, even the big time. I never had the big time, but whenever I played against it, I was never too worried because I feel like, I mean, based off how he's playing now, the stats are probably accurate. But back when he was playing well, I always felt his finishing and high possession were a bit too low. But in terms of leveling him up, uh, so this is the auto allocate. His booster is to speed, acceleration, balance, and stamina. And in terms of his skills, he has double touch, sorry, flip flap, um, knuckle shot, dip and shot, long range shooting, first time shot, Rabona, gamesmanship. He has a few more as well. Um, so if I was trying to build him, because he already has double touch and flip flap, I'd put soul control on him to get that level 3 double touch, and then also I'd put long range curler on him because kick and power, you can see in the build there, is really strong and his curl's decent. So I would definitely lean into those two. In terms of the builds now, would I stick with the auto allocate? Do you know what? Because like my first thought on a player like a winger is to give him more dribbling, but just because of how bad his tight possession is, I think you're probably you're probably best off sticking to the kind of more pacey build. You could like you've already given him 8 points into dribbling. Um, because his booster is into speed, you could even go less into dribbling and more into speed and get him to 100 speed. Then maybe if you want, get the balance down to 80 and take the we'll keep the passing on for a sec, see if we can get 80 finishing. No, do we have enough points? Yeah, so you can go 80 finishing there. Honestly, I think that would be better than the passing. I don't know if I would do 100 speed. The kicking power is part of the reason you would level the speed. I would probably go for something like where was I gonna put the point? No, I wouldn't go dribbling. Actually, you know, maybe I would go for the 100 speed. Yeah, look, if he's not going to be that great at dribbling, you might as well just make him as fast as possible and try make use of that. But yeah, in terms of the skills, definitely put soul if you're going to use them, soul control and long range curler on. In terms of the next player, Bruno Fernandes is another guy I've never really liked in eFootball. I like him in real life, but I've never really liked him in eFootball. And there was an orchestrator or a box to box card, maybe both, that looked very good, but I unfortunately I never got my hands on it. His boost is to ball control, dribbling, finishing, and balance. So that's actually pretty good for a whole player. Those are pretty important stats. Dribbling's good for a whole player because you're trying to exploit the space. So when you get the ball with him, you want to be fast with the ball. Fortunately, he's not that fast, and I do feel like a whole player's positioning, their runs are very good, but if they don't have good speed or acceleration, you don't really notice the runs as much because they can't get into the position quick enough. But in terms of how I would level them, so this is the auto allocate. It does look decent off the start. What would I change? Part of me wants to keep the acceleration higher than the speed just because he's an attacker. That's usually what I recommend. But I don't know, maybe just get the speed higher for the kicking power. His passing, it's annoying. I wish the passing stats were flipped there. I wish that was 92 low pass and 89 lofted pass instead. You could do this and then see, we want to keep the 80 balance. We'd like to keep the 90 ball control. Like maybe just don't level the passing or get it to 84 maybe. Then you can get this to 90. And you have an extra point for passing. Honestly, that looks like the best build for me, most balanced. You get the 90 kicking power, so even if the passing is a bit lower, the kicking power helps a lot with passing. I mentioned that in my training guide video. So, like, look, his card doesn't look terrible, but whenever I use him in game, I don't particularly enjoy him. Got high weak foot accuracy, and then in terms of his skills, he's got Marseille turn, which is good, long range shooting good, heel trick good, one touch passing good, through passing good, pinpoint crossing good, outside curler. It's okay. His curl isn't high enough, I think, for the outside curl to be too effective. I'd rather just go for a power shot. And then he has gamesmanship. But he has decent skills. He's missing, I'd say, weighted pass, maybe a double touch. I think other versions of Bruno have double touch. I swear I've used Bruno in the competitive mode and he had double touch. They must have changed that. But if you're a Man United fan, you'll be fine. But I don't think you'd get into most people's main team. Right, next player, Joshua Kimmich. He's an orchestrator. Orchestrator is my favorite playstyle. You might have seen my 6 orchestrator video, and the guy I was playing against wasn't too happy with my playstyle. So you would assume I love Kimmich in the game, but I really don't like him. I don't know if he's just not physical enough or what it is. And not to mention, like, I mean, I'm gonna mention the competitive mode again. I love him in the competitive mode, but in Dream Team, I just never like him. And the same with Choupo-Moting, I think. In terms of what his booster is, it's low pass, lofted pass, curl, and kick and power. So I mentioned this in my training video. Xavi has the same boost, and obviously when Konami built Xavi, they wanted him to be the best passer in the game. So these 4 stats are the 4 stats you look for on passing. So people might not understand why I look at kick and power when I'm determining how good a player's passing is, but you can see it right there, and it's the same with Xavi. Konami clearly want you to have high kick and power if you do passing, and I notice it 100%. So in terms of the build, this is the auto allocate. It gives them crazy high passing. In terms of would I stick with that, I think I would take a little bit off, to be honest. I would go 1 less speed probably, then you don't want to over level the dexterity. You want his defensive awareness not to be too high because you don't want him to go too far forward. His dribbling looks good as it is. So honestly, you could probably go like that for the passing. Actually, put that point back in, get 80 jumping, and then in terms of his skills, he doesn't have aerial superiority, so he might be. With 80 jumping, he might be decent. Now he's not extremely tall. He's 177 centimeters, but with the jumping at 80 and the aerial superiority, he might actually win some headers in midfield. In terms of his skills, he's got good skills. He's got the trio of one touch pass, true pass, and weighted pass, and then he's also got pinpoint crossing. So he's looking pretty good there. Interception, necessary for a centre mid. In terms of what skills I'd put on him, like I said, aerial superiority. I probably wouldn't put much skills on him. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a gamesmanship. Yeah, I like gamesmanship on my centre mids or DMFs because if you're trying to dribble around with them, especially an orchestrator, if you mess up your dribble, if you get fouled, you want the free. In terms of the new position proficiency things, he might be good as a centre back in a three at the back on the outside. He'd be a bit like Frankie De Jong, and De Jong is one of my favorite centre backs in a three back. And he doesn't even have interception, so this Kimmich might be really good in three back if you can get the position proficiency on him. So especially if you do that, definitely put air superiority on, and then probably acrobatic clearance too. So yeah, he doesn't look too bad, but I don't know if he'll actually be good in game. Next player is Thomas Muller, a dummy runner. In real life, based on real life, that playstyle would be something that I really want to try. But every time I try them in game, he's not the greatest, and you can see his pace is just terrible. Like if he's gonna be a dummy runner, he has to make runs. He can't even run. He's too slow. So there's that's a bit of a problem. If we go on eFootball hub and give him auto allocate, this is his build. Like he doesn't look too bad. His technical stats look great for an SS. It's just the physical stats, the athleticism. He just doesn't have the pace. So you'd want to play him centre forward, but if you notice, he doesn't have the full proficiency. So they have just added position trainers into the game. So maybe it might be worth making him a CF. But honestly, I wouldn't waste a position trainer on someone like him. But if you do want to use him, get the offensive awareness high. That's the kind of sad thing about Thomas Muller. He's not a technically gifted player. He's not physically gifted. He's just smarter than everyone, and you should lean into that if you are choosing to use him. I would keep his passing high. Just because he doesn't have the physical, he should be more of a decoy. So you should pass to him, and then he'll be in plenty of space. He's too slow to exploit that space. But when your opposition defender shifts over, someone else should free up for a pass back inside. In terms of the build, if I was to level lower body, it would just be for the kick and power. I wouldn't worry about the speed. To be honest, I would probably stick with this build. I don't think I would change anything about that. Yeah, I would stick with that build. And in terms of his by the way, his booster is to acceleration, physical, and stamina. So very weird. And aggression. I don't know if aggression does anything for player runs. If I think it does, let me know. In terms of his skills, so he's got acrobatic finishing, first time shot, true passing, cut behind and turn. So as the dummy runner, the things you'll be looking for there are cut behind and turn, true passing, and maybe acrobatic finishing and first time shot, just in case you do choose to shoot him. He doesn't have super sub though. Super sub is a great combo with the very high offensive awareness. So the build I recommended just there has 95 offensive awareness. So super sub combined with really high attacking awareness seems to be broken. Like the ball just falls to the player. So I don't think he'll be good, but I don't know. Maybe if you're a Bayern fan, you might want to give him a shot. Garnacho. I got a Garnacho card recently. A whole player. I'm very happy with it. I had very high weak foot. It was obviously a whole player. Not that that really matters. He's prolific wingers. They could play left mid and right mid. And this is the problem with the card. This one has no skills. I don't know what Konami you're thinking. I remember in eFootball 23, I was excited for 24 to come out because I was assuming Phil Foden and Garnacho were going to get skill updates, and they never did. So look, I'll level him up, but with these skills, he's gonna be terrible. His boost is the speed, dribbling, type, possession, and balance. Like as a new player, if you're getting these cards for free, you're literally just starting the game. He'll do a job, but you should be looking to replace him soon. Like if you look at his stats, he looks great as a left mid or a right mid. I mean, left mid only for this one. Just because of this one can't play right mid. Skills, I'm like just don't invest in them. Like don't level them up if you're gonna use them. Maybe use them in my league to get some GP. But yeah, it's a shame because I actually like him a lot in real life. All right, next player, Hoyland. I got his player of the week probably a month ago now, and he was surprisingly good. His weak foot was really good. His his right footed finesse is really good. And the reason I said left footed there, finesse, assuming it was a weak foot, is because when I was using him, I assumed he was right footed. It wasn't until I checked a few games in I realized I was actually hitting. When I thought I was hitting it with his right foot, strong foot, I was actually hitting it with his weak foot. So yeah, he's a goal poacher. His boost is to the physical stats. But that doesn't sound too great. But he actually does start with decent speed and acceleration, and at least it's given him a boost and balance, so that's good. But also you just have to remember this boost is only active if you're using 3 of these players in the lineup. So in terms of leveling him up, this is the auto allocate build, max level boost. Okay, so this is the auto allocate build. Doesn't scream out anything amazing to me. If I can find his player, I think this is his player of the week. Like like this is player of the week, but the player of the week looks the same. Actually, I think this new card looks better. Yeah, this new card's better. More physical, same stats elsewhere, pretty much. So yeah, this new card's better. So that's good. Although I'd say the skills are different. Let me look at the skills. So this one has, on top of the player of the week, has an extra long range curler and one touch pass. So the long range curler, yeah. So I remember the video. He scored a lot of finesse shots, and that's the long range curler coming in. This one won't have the same level of being clinical in the finesse. I don't know how to say words sometimes. The same finishing in terms of the curl shots as the player of the week. In terms of the build, I would go 8 in dexterity first because you get a good bit of points back for that. Go to 90 speed, not for the speed though. It's for the kick and power. In terms of his physical level at the 2 at the moment, just keep it at 90. Then see what you can do with the other stats. So you could level his passing up to 70, make him a bit more link up. You could get his dribbling, so his type possession is decent. I wouldn't go into 8 dribbling though, because you're gonna have to take one of these critical stats below 90. So if you get that to 80, and then you have 2 points left, so you can go 1 into lower body or 1 in physical. So I would do either that. I would go either 4 physical. So I'd go these 4 here. Now either go 4 physical and 6 lower body, or 2 physical or aerial strength, sorry, and 7 lower body. Personally, I would go for the extra physical. Get a bit more points. And then if you want to use them in terms of skills, put aerial superiority on them. Try get a long range curler and 1 touch pass. But I wouldn't be too worried about investing in him. I don't think he's good enough to warrant an investment. Alright, so Harry Kane came out in this week in the player of the week. I don't know if it was the normal player of the week or the Champions League. And I was talking about how he's a fox in the box, and how usually I actually want a deep line forward Kane. So we've got one here. He's only got 17 levels though, so his stats don't look that great off the start. So let's see him auto allocated. So his boost is to ball control, finishing, kick and power, and physical. So not a bad selection. So this one has 97 finishing. I think the player of the week one only has 96. So this one has better finishing, and it's a deep line forward, not a fox in the box. In terms of the build, okay. Dexterity. Okay, because his defensive awareness is very high. But as a deep line forward, I don't think that's too important. He's not making runs in behind, he's only coming short. But a deep line forward needs acceleration. We can beat dribble past players, and then, you know, once he's dribbled past someone, there should be 2 passes open. If he doesn't dribble past someone, there's usually only 1 pass. If you dribble by someone, there's 2 passes, maybe 3. So you'd want to be able to beat the man. But his dexterity starts off so low, or sorry, his acceleration and balance start off so low, and that even getting it to 70 won't make him that great at beating players with the ball. So I probably lower the dexterity a bit. In terms of physical, instead of going to 85, probably go 84. And then go get his passing to 80 low pass at least, and then you have I don't know, do you take the finishing off, keep it to 95? Like I said earlier, sorry, in my last video, most of the top strikers don't have great curl. I know Gianni likes having curl on players he passes with. I don't need it. I'm on pass assist 2. If you're on pass assist 1 or 2, I don't think you need curl on your pass, and I don't think it helps. But if you're on pass assist 3, it makes the passes crazy different. And then the inverse is also true for kick and power. On pass assist 3, you need to be in control of your kick and power more, so it's less important. So in terms of where I'd go from here, probably go all in on physical. Get his tight possession to 80. Get his passing up as high as possible, or get his kick and power as high as possible. So 95 kick and power, 95 finishing. If you do get a shot with him, you'd be pretty confident it's going in the back of the net. In terms of the skills he has cut behind and turn, which is great for a deep line forward. Like I said, you're looking as a deep line forward to beat the man. If you don't beat someone, you probably only have 1 pass open. If you beat someone, you have 2 or 3. Long range curler, so he's hitting them from deep as a deep line forward. It doesn't have great curl, but the kick and power and finishing should compensate that. As long as you're not really far away from goal, you should be fine. Dip and shot with the kick and power and curl. Sorry, finishing. Kick and power and finishing would be great. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot. 2 meta skills for strikers. Gamesmanship, which is very good on him. Aerial superiority, be good for the link up play. In terms of skills I'd put on him, maybe a soul control. 100% of true passing. Why haven't he got true passing? He should probably do it with a weighted pass. You know, play him like he does in real life. Like, get him to come short and distribute the ball. So yeah, so a reminder: you have to use 3 of these players at once to get the boost. In terms of which players I would pick, Kimmich is definitely the number 1. Even though I said he's not that great, most people do like him, so he's definitely the number 1 player you want to use. In terms of the other players, probably Bruno, and then you have a choice between Rashford and Kane. If you're gonna use Rashford, I would use him at left mid or right mid, not left wing or centre forward or right wing. The reason for that is because he's so fast. If you start him deeper, he has more space to run into and to use his pace. Left wing, centre forward, or right wing, you'll need his tight possession to be high to, you know, dribble in and out of defenders, and he just doesn't have the stats for that. So yeah, those 3 I would probably use. So, you know, Kane, Kimmich, Bruno, or Rashford. Out of those 3. Out of the kind of second lot, it would probably be between Højlund and Choupo-Moting. If Targaman is not what you're looking for, give Muller a try. The dummy runner. You know what they actually, in the patch notes video, I've done a video talking about all the patch notes. If you want to check that out too, they've changed how the AI works with your teammates. So maybe dummy runners might become new meta or something. I doubt it. Because there's very few of them. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's the end of the video. And yeah, just a reminder again, you do get these players for free if you log in every day and you complete the AI event. You'll get them every day. And we got Kane. Okay, so we might give him a go. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thanks. Bye.